I just want to mention a friend of ours who passed away a couple of nights ago. And some of you guys know him. James Coleman, the guy that worked in the parking garage here at the arena, had a long battle with lung cancer. He was stage 4 lung cancer for a long period of time, and this guy was always in a great mood, always super optimistic and everything. And I got a text from him late, it was 9:30 Dallas time on Wednesday night, that he was going into the hospital. And he occasionally sent updates, and that was the night of our Denver game, and he passed away that night. So I just wanted to mention him. He was a special guy, and I knew him for 6 years here, and those of you guys that knew him would remember him. So anyway, just want to make a small note of that.
What's the name again?
James Coleman.
Rick, what's the formula for success tonight?
Compete as hard as we can, defend and rebound, keep turnovers down, cover the three-point line, make shots. I mean, we keep going.
Have a hit first
I mean, it's,
mentality? Have a hit first mentality?
Yeah, we got to be aggressive. We didn't do that the other night, and it cost us dearly. And so, the games are 48 minutes long, and you cannot afford to get smashed back on your heels early and not recover quickly, which is what happened the other night.
Rick, when you talk about things like you did yesterday about wanting to see the team demonstrate more toughness and a sense of urgency, is that totally judged on a field thing for you, or do you look at things in a box score that you can use to quantify whether or not that's happening?
Well, there's some things in the box score. I mean, rebounding is an intensity effort statistic. We keep deflections, things like that. I mean, there's some games where like our game against Chicago, we had one of our highest deflection games and we still lost. But the competitiveness was there. San Antonio, we competed pretty well, I thought. Denver was just a bad night.
Rick, can you tell sometimes when guys are competing really hard that they're just not having, it's one of those nights that it's not happening for them, and how closely do you watch that? I guess what I'm saying is,
well, when that's the case, I mean, they seldom will lose their spot in the rotation. I mean, because the hard play is the first, it's the first rung of success individually and for our team, and we have to have that. On nights where shot making isn't exactly where you want it to be, you gotta stick to the process, do things hard, keep stepping into shots the same way, keep your free throw routine the same, those kinds of things. And over 82 games, those things are going to balance out. But look, the other night, it's done. We got to move forward. Now we're looking at a really tough stretch here, and this is a good way to start it, against one of the top teams in the West.
What do you make of Larry Brown's comments that he said D-League coaches don't teach the players how to play? He said the college system is the best minor league system in the world. Kind of ragged on the D-League, basically. Well,
wasn't that in response to somebody else's comments? Look, I don't know the back and forth of it. But I wouldn't want to get into a shit throw with either one of those guys over this. I mean, it's just not worth it. I mean, the D-League's valuable, and we all know the college is there's no replacing college. And Larry's one of the great teachers. And Larry knows there are a lot of guys teaching the game at a high level. So we should segue to another topic.
Rick, when you look at the two matchups this year against Portland, how do you feel like Batum and Lopez have hurt you guys, and is there any formula for slowing those guys down?
How?
Yeah.
Well, Lopez is, it's pretty simple. He's a, he's a great screener, he's a great roller. He's second in the league in, at the rim defense.
Mhm.
So we got those stats from somewhere. Hibbert's number 1, he's number 2. He's just giving, he's averaging almost, I think he's averaging 4 offensive rebounds a game, which is a lot. I mean, that's a ton. That's very measurable. The screening, I don't know that, I'm sure there are analytics guys keeping track of that, but we see it. We see him getting guys open. Batum just keeps developing his all-around game. He's become more of a playmaker. The three-point shooting has been there, for the last few years. And he's a good defender, and he's another guy, over the last 5 games, I think he's averaging 12 rebounds a game. So those guys are hurting you scoring the ball, but they're also hurting teams and hurting us when we play them by going and getting it too. So checkouts and blockouts, whatever you want to call it, and going to get the ball is really important.
Would you say Sargent's readiness to step in the other night might have earned him more minutes or more opportunity?
It's possible. It's possible. Yeah. Look, he's never been not ready. I mean, look at this guy's history in basketball and outside of basketball. I mean, he's come up in a culture of not only being ready, but being more than ready. And so that's why he's a valuable guy to us.
What does it say about